we know, right, session intentions, right? What can you guys tell me about session intentions? What is the purpose of Asia, London, New York, and Power Hour? What is the purpose of Asia? What's the purpose of London? What's the purpose of New York? And obviously NYSE. And then what is the purpose of Power Hour? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, well, I wouldn't say Asia gets manipulated. That I wouldn't go just off that. I mean, Asia can get manipulated, but in the Wyckoff textbook, in the book of financial markets, does it say that Asia session must be manipulated? Does Asia have to be manipulated? No, right? But I will agree with you. Most of the time, it does, but there is intentions. For me, Asia is like mainly about kind of filling orders and building liquidity, right? Asia has a lot less volume, apart from this week. Every session's had fucking volume since Trump came in. But normally, Asia session for me, if I'm talking about like a textbook setup, that's going to build some liquidity. London, so if we kind of look back, right, it's like a daily cycle, right? Apart from this week. So what was in Asia? We was accumulating, was filling orders. Normally, of course, like I would ideally try to look for a Frankfurt sweep, obviously doing that, but it doesn't have to. Remember, the market's not the same every single day, right? It's the same principles that Asia can fill orders, but then London can typically set you that high. So Asia, purpose of Asia for me is basically building liquidity and filling orders, all right? London is now to print the high or low of the day, right? Yeah, that's it, Marco, right? And you are right, Andre. It definitely sets the high and low of the day. Um, yeah, and yeah, cool. New York continuations, right? And then New York Stock Exchange Open. Who? Let's see if you guys know this one. Damn, it's a good cup of tea. I'll give her that. Open orders. Okay, think a little bit more. Think about outside the box. Let's do like Hangman. Ah, Ron got it. Right. So yeah, manipulation, right? We can see a lot of time at session opens, you will see manipulation. And clearly bad spelling. Oh, for fuck's sake, all right? Manipulation. And then what about power hour? What's the intention for power hour? What does power hour do? Profit taking. That's it, Marco. All right. So when we can start to understand the narrative, this is what I mean by building a narrative. Remember, trading's not just, oh, see Wyckoff, buy Wyckoff. It's about understanding the bigger picture and where we are in the cycles and what we're actually seeing overall. So when we see Asia fill in orders, I mean, there's obviously no consolidation here, no problem. Frankfurt session London prints that high or low of the day. Then during New York, right, what do we get, right? Building up our reaccumulation. But Kieran, right? Why are we selling it? Why aren't we selling it when there's a distribution? Because fundamentally, there's no reason to sell it. Like, just because you see a distro on the charts doesn't mean there's sell orders entering the market. Because you've got two types of distributions. You've got the first type of distribution. I'm not talking like type 1, 2, 3, 4s. I'm talking a distribution that's profit taken and a distribution that's designed to actually fill sell orders. So fundamentally right now, right, do institutions across the globe want to short the US stock market? No, right? So there's no fundamental reason for them to distribute it. Quantitative easing, earnings reports, Trump coming into office, right? There's zero reason for them to short it. So we then know that New York can set up for continuations the overall trend. New York Stock Exchange Open, what does it do? It gives us a nice manipulation. And coming into New York as well, which opens around 12, notice what we start to see build out here on the Dow, right? We start to see it build out an accumulation, an accumulation, right? We start to see it build out an accumulation. Now, just because it looks like an accumulation doesn't mean we buy it. It has to be a validated accumulation. So when we see here, right, do we have a larger pullback than our prior pullbacks? Most definitely. Most definitely. So this is what sets our preliminary support. All right. And does it give a minimum of 38.2? Most definitely. It comes to just shy of the 50%. Most definitely. So we've got our preliminary support. We got our seller's climax. And again, notice, all right, coming into New York for continuations, we're seeing those buy orders being filled, right? Time of day, New York Stock Exchange, just before it's giving us that manipulation, right? We get our automatic reaction. We validated phase A. Now what do we do to validate phase B? Our drives, right? Our 1 drive, 2 drive, 3 drive, 4 drives. Now we need our manipulation. We've got our manipulation, phase C. Now phase D, we need our sign of strength. Yeah, that's it. Textbook type 1. And pay attention to the volume. Look at the absorption that comes in at New York Stock Exchange open. That downtrend got fucking reversed. Like there's no tomorrow. So much orders are coming in. What I also liked as well is we saw the open, right? New York Stock Exchange open, get manipulated, right? Swept low or the open. Again, I don't care about highs and lows, right? But then what do we do? So we then come back into the 80%. And what do we do when we come back into 80%? What do we do when we come back into that 80%? We see our trading range, our 1 drive, our 2 drive, our 3 drive, our 4 drive, our sweep, our sign of strength. Comes back into the 50. Now, why am I not offsetting it? Because I'm on a 5-second chart. I don't need to offset it. Like sometimes you've got to calculate the risk to reward. Sometimes it's just not worth it. All right. See that distro. So fundamentally, tell me why there's signs of sellers on this chart. Higher time frame premium. So why does that mean sellers are coming in the chart? And if we're going by that logic, then why has US equities, why do they keep going higher? They need to, if you're in premium, you need a reason, right, for it to come lower. All right. Where are your signs of sellers on this? I mean, where's your distribution? You know, like there's fundamentally why are there sellers in the market? No, look, bro, look. She accumulates, look. And what does she do when she comes back? Accumulates again. That is your micro. That is your micro. I personally did a 1 limit when she was coming here and filming the trading range. I just market executed here with a stop below the low, and I got in again off this micro. You know, remember, like if the market's gonna sell off, right? You need a fundamental reason. Plus, where are the sellers on this market? What have the sellers done on indices? There's 0 sellers in here. You know, where's your distro? You know, okay, if you want to argue it, buyer's climax, automatic reaction, secondary test, but we don't have any weakness, right? And why are we not seeing any organization from the sell side? Why are we reacting off demand? Why are we putting in massive volume from the buy side, right? And even if we are going to short for a rebalance in play, right? What do we need to see for a rebalance in play? We need to see our distro and our redistro, 100%. Do we have any of that here? No. Okay, look, fair enough. Listen, if we do this, right, and we do this, then we do this, then we do this, and we actually build out a proper redistro, all right, and now we're seeing earnings become poor. We're seeing, short side on the COT reports, right, and we're seeing a lot of volume come in. Unemployment starting to spike. All right, fair enough. But for me, even then, where's our distribution? Like you call in that signs of sellers. I mean, look how pathetic these sell orders are. Plus we break minor supply, but we don't even care about highs and lows. Now, if it's currencies, am I going to buy like this? Oh, fuck no. No, if it's currencies, no, I'm not taking this trade. No way. All right. But currencies are a different beast. Well, there wouldn't be a line in the sand because we're not in a bearish market. Your line in the sands are a validation point. So in here, you're only line in the sands here on this time frame. But like if you kind of were, let's just argue we kind of go like we're here, all right? All right, cool. You've had your reaccumulation into your distribution, and you just broke minor order flow. So when she's doing that, there's two things if we want to get back into the buyer's higher time frame. We either wait for the reaccum or we wait for it to come down to the higher time frame leg. What does she start to do? So technically you could argue you're in a bearish leg from here. All right, because that distribution broke supply. But going back to the 28th of October, fundamentally, what's the reason for indices to short off? There isn't. Right? So we just get a larger manipulation. Yeah. So when we kind of go back to it now, if I can build a case for buyers and I can see evidence of buyers coming in on equities, I'm buying it just because of the fundamentals. I mean, and yeah, so you've got to adapt. And we are setting up for a reaccum too. Distro, accum, in demand, sweep liquidity, volume coming in. They're ready to jump across the creek. Now, again, like we've always said that we're always happy to be a little bit more aggressive on indices because indices fucking pay. Now, what day of the week are we? This is a Monday. Am I doing this? Hell no. It's a Wednesday. All right, we've already manipulated the open. All right, she comes back in, volume, and then that's all she wrote. Now, obviously, in terms of like profit taking, for me, I close from when she obviously come up and took these highs, that 1 to 9, I close over half the order at this point. But again, time of day, right? When she starts coming into power hour, which is around like 8, 9 p.m. UK time, we did start to see it enter a small distribution. All right, that profit taking time. So for me, when she started to come up into these areas, that was when I took some more profit and it closed majority of the trade.